Keeping your business healthy in today's marketplace can be a challenging and overwhelming task. From the threat of litigation inside and outside your organization and the inefficiencies that can rob your bottom line as a result of unproven marketing programs, the deck can be stacked against you. To get ahead of these challenges and stay ahead of your competition, the Bottled Business Sense Show provides practical business solutions that uniquely emphasize key legal principles, management techniques, and marketing strategies to protect and ensure the longevity of your business. You'll learn how to implement marketing and protection principles equal to those used by today's most successful corporations. Join your host, Bill Bernard, Rick Moscoso, and Steve Smith for some high-energy discussion that will inspire you to take control of your business so it can prosper in today's consistently challenging business environment.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Bill Bernard. I'm one of the co-hosts of the Bottled Business Sense Show. We have our show, as you know, every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. It's usually anywhere between 20 minutes to 30 to 35 minutes long, depending on the topic. And my co-hosts and I try to give everybody some free advice. We try to give legal advice to a certain extent, as well as marketing advice, so entrepreneurs can prosper in their business and move forward under the umbrella of protection that they desperately need in today's business world. And I'm often reminded by people, well, why do you take the time to do this? What was your motive behind it? And that's it. What I just said couldn't be said more succinctly. It's really a way to give back to the community and try to help our entrepreneurs and business owners. And you can always take a look at our website, bottlebusinesssense.com, where you will see a simulcast of all of our past shows in depth over the past year and a half, year and 3/4. And it involves many, many legal issues as well as marketing issues that you will certainly be interested in if you take a gander at them. Also, we can be heard through audio only on Blog Talk Radio, and that would be blogtalkradio.com/Bottle Business Sense Show. We are on LinkedIn at Bottle Business Sense Show. We are on Twitter. We're on Facebook, and we're on Google+. So check us out. Just Google Bottle Business Sense Show, and everything you need will come right up there. Well, having said all that, let me take the opportunity to welcome one of my co-hosts for today. That's Rick Moscoso, who is going to talk today about mobile marketing strategy. And I think that's such an important topic because, boy, everybody's going mobile and everybody is mobile, and it just is something that can't be denied. So how did you come to welcome, by the way, Rick, and how did you come to choose this topic today?
Oh, well, thank you, Bill. It's good to be here again and be on the other side of the mic, so to speak. So, just recently, the Consumer Electronics Show took place in Vegas, as it usually does. And it's, I guess you could coin it as a geek show because there's so much technology and so much new advances on how we use this technology to market our businesses, as well as some other technological innovations. But I was really captivated by the keynote talk by the chief of business operations over at YouTube, and I was watching his a keynote. That's Robert Kinsel over at YouTube, and he has only been over at YouTube for a couple of years. And I believe it was 2012. He did his first keynote, made some predictions. He went back and reviewed some of them, and just to share what he did just recently, he did talk about a number of things that are going on with the internet and how video is playing a big part of that. And I'll just skim a couple of facts that he shared. And one of the claims that he had made back in 2012 is that he said by 2020, 90% of all internet traffic was going to be video. And that prediction in January is coming close. He's right in line with that.
Well, I know that doesn't surprise somebody like you, right?
No, not at all. I mean, it's really exciting for somebody like me.
Well, and by the way, I have to interrupt you. Before you continue, you said something key there. You said the word captivating.
Right.
And in fact, you have a new business entity that I'm forming for you, and a new business name. So can you just, well, before I forget, just tell everybody briefly what that is?
Oh, sure. Yeah, I appreciate your help there with that, and in setting up that entity. But I have formed a new business called Captivate 365, and it takes what I've been doing in the past with video marketing, video production, a lot of branding, outbound branding, marketing for business owners, and really focused in on the opportunity that we have now with video marketing and how we use that, and how consumers are really taking a big chunk of consumption on what we have to provide. So part of the topic that we are talking about today really folds in very nicely with what I'm providing.
I was going to say, this is right in your wheelhouse then.
Oh, absolutely. And that's why I'm so excited about it. So for me to hear someone like some bigwig over at YouTube talk about the direction that video is going to be playing with consumers is really exciting, and couldn't come at a better time for me and for my clients. So with that, he did share another factoid here that he said 75% of all video by 2020 that's watched is going to be transmitted through the internet. And the funny thing is, most of that consumption, 80% of that consumption, is outside of the U.S. So it's immensely huge outside the U.S. and gives us really a huge opportunity to start utilizing this technology. And as I present these facts that he shared with us, these stats that he shared with us, I'll give you the reason why this is so important in our businesses as we start considering using video in our marketing strategies.
Well, Rick, let me ask you a quick question. Even more to the point, perhaps you tell me, have you found that not only 75% of all video will be communicated through the internet, but more particularly, is that a number for mobile, for cellular kind of transmissions video, or is that just in general over the internet?
No, that's in general, but certainly mobile is playing a big, huge part in that. In fact, what Cisco predicts by not 2020, by 2019, is that video will actually reach about 90% of the global internet traffic in about 3 years from now. So in addition to what they were saying is that they also believe that 60% of all video coming over the net, coming over the internet, will actually be via mobile. And that's really what makes it exciting. So whether you're just watching video, an online show, maybe you're watching a how-to, we'll get a little bit into how to capitalize on that. But that's where people are consuming video. And the main reason for that, really the big reason for that, and they talked about this at CES a lot, is that video is inherently mobile, right? And being mobile on something like this, now this is an older iPhone, but the newer iPhones, the newer Androids, the newer phones are getting bigger, they're getting sharper, the hardware's getting faster, and it's become a much more pleasant way of consuming video because of the technology leaps that our hardware companies are providing.
So do you think like desktops, laptops, iPads are going to eventually be almost obsolete?
No, I don't think personally, I don't think so, and I don't think the folks behind YouTube or any of these technology companies think that as well. I mean, you're certainly still going to have streaming companies out there that are broadcasting the conventional series, the conventional shows, not only on broadcast TV, but now you'll be able to view it via streaming video, like I know you subscribe to Netflix, those type of streaming video services. Well, you can watch that on your smart TV, you can watch that at home, but you can also now watch it on your mobile device, whether it's an iPad or a larger mobile phone. it's just more convenient to watch that stuff. And so now, from a marketing standpoint, we have a more convenient platform to reach customers through, because this device is on us 24/7 basically, unless we're sleeping. But this is on us a lot more often. And he talked about the demographic of millennials, right? And if you take a look at how engrossed they are into mobile technology, he talked about 87% of all millennials have their phone with them pretty much 24/7, day and night. And so they can get to whatever they want to see, whatever they want to watch, whatever they want to engage with via their mobile phone or mobile device, and get the answers that they're looking for.
And I'm going to be a little stubborn on this because, see, I hear the words mobile and marketing, and I think of business. I think of entrepreneurship. I think of business owners, the reason we're here, in other words, on this show. I don't think of it most often in terms of movies because, I like to watch a movie on a big screen. I could never watch it on a phone. And in fact, I was in Costco the other day, and they're not making these 70-inch TVs for nothing. So I would tend to think this is really structured more towards mobile marketing and the importance of having video use in mobile marketing stuff, right? I mean,
sure. Now, what you're talking about is, sit down movies, watching episodes. While a lot of people will do that while they're on the go, basically what I'm talking about is positioning yourselves from a marketing perspective with the end user, with the end mobile user in mind. And we can get into that a little bit. In fact, let me use you as an example, because you just had the situation happen to you. I believe it was last week or a couple of weeks ago, while you were out having dinner or some appetizers, and you were talking about what you did. You met some couple that you started talking with, and then somehow you started talking about the Bottle Business Sense show, right?
Right.
And then rather than them going home, pulling up their laptop, looking at it, researching you in the privacy of their room, he did it right there in front of you, right? He looked us up. He looked the Bottle Business Sense show right there in front of you on his phone.
Right. Well, they wanted to make sure that I was who I said I was, because they were not so much because I was untrustworthy or I looked like a some sort of beach bum, but because they were talking about some legal issues, knew I was a lawyer, and said, hey, let me see if this guy is, legit, and let me see if he's really who he says he is. And I'd kind of like to look up a lawyer who has a business show. So, I think it was more from that standpoint, but your point is well taken. Yeah, it was done right there. No more waiting to go home and checking it out. And it gives you instant gratification, because from my standpoint, it was kind of nice to know that they wanted to do that in front of me. They had nothing to hide. They wanted to see what I was talking about. They were impressed enough to be able to check it out right there and then while we were having a bite to eat.
Yeah, and I bet I can almost guarantee that when they did go home, after they had done some initial research on you, I bet they perused your website or the Bottle Business Sense show site and looked at some videos while they were back at the room. Obviously they found the conversation interesting enough. They found out who you were. You look credible enough. They probably did a little bit more research when they had time to consume some videos to get more information.
And you know what another driving factor was, Rick? A little bit off topic, but I really think the driving factor was, from our conversation, hey, this is pretty cool to be able to get free marketing and legal advice if all I got to do is tap my phone and watch a video from a business show. Yeah,
absolutely. And that's why really the topic of this show is how to use mobile in your marketing strategy, but more importantly, how can small business take advantage of the growing shift to video consumption online? And so there is a science to this, and there's also a very specific strategy. And I was trying to find a while ago, I was trying to coin a phrase and obviously Google beat me to it, and they call these moments or these opportunities to market via mobile, they call them micro moments. And these really, I'll read you their definition of what a micro moment is. And really, in a nutshell, a micro moment, they're critical touch points within today's consumer journey. And when they're added together, they ultimately determine how that journey ends. So they describe 4 different micro moments that we typically would go online with a mobile device, or even a desktop, but mostly we're talking from a mobile perspective, that you want to focus on in order to capture the audience that could be potentially coming to you to research you or to look you up or to get information, and that sort of thing. Because I shared with you that 80% of millennials will carry their phone all the time, and out of the audience that do have smartphones, 68% of them will check their phones. I know I fall into this category. 68% of people with smartphones will check their phone within 15 minutes of waking up, right? Yeah. I usually check it right away, whether it's email or whatever, the Facebook feed or LinkedIn.
I agree.
I'll go to it and check on it. So there's literally hundreds, if not thousands, of interactions that you have with your mobile device. Now, not all of those are productive, but there are opportunities, though, when people are going to make or try to make informed choices, informed decisions by looking up information when they're on the go and they're not on their desktop. Okay, and that's what Google coined as micro moments. These are really opportunities to segment the way you talk to your audience without selling specifically to them. Okay, because.
So I was going to say, Rick, what would you? I know we're going through these micro moments. The first one, I guess, appears to be I want to know moments that we just described. But what would you say to the listener or reviewer out there who's saying, okay, Mr. Moscoso, what is it that you're trying to tell me to do? Because I already have a marketing strategy. I already have a mobile phone. What is it you're trying to tell me to do, or what is it you're making me aware of that you think I don't already know? So how would you answer that question to our listeners?
I would ask the question, are you positioned to market to the consumer that's coming to the mobile phone, that's looking you up in the form of short video moments, right? Or micro moments in the form of short form video, okay? Mm-hmm. Because that's what people want. People want instant gratification. They don't want to have to struggle to read it. They want it quick. They want it now. They want to learn about you, regardless of the brand. In most cases, the people that are searching for information online, they're looking for content more than they are looking for the brand, because that content is so readily available to them. So we talked a little bit,
and they're looking for it right away, like immediate gratification, right, Rick? Like my 2 people at the table.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that would be a great example of I want to know. That's a I want to know moment. Okay, so you had a conversation with them. They wanted to find out what you were all about. If there was a short form video or a video micro moment there that would promote or emphasize what you had been talking to them about, they could immediately go to it and watch it. And that's the type of thing where they heard your business, they heard what you did, they wanted to know about that right now. So whether it's in a conversation or whether it maybe was they saw something online, they saw a commercial, they want to learn more about it, they want it right now. Okay. Mm-hmm. The other thing, the shift because of mobile is another micro moment would be I want to go type of moment. Okay. And what's so that? I want to go type of moment is think of it as a near me search. Okay. It's almost like it's a video version of Yelp. So there's all kinds of apps now that are being developed for smartphones. Like say I'm out of town. I want to go to see a restaurant. I type in, or I have the app that says near me or something like it. It'll sense where you are based on your GPS position, and you're looking for let's say it's a Japanese restaurant or Italian restaurant, whatever it happens to be. It'll show it. Well, if you come up to the top of the list, that's an opportunity right there to share a quick snippet about your business, right? About your restaurant,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. In fact, I here in the neighborhood that we're in recently joined a neighborhood. What would you call it? It's not like Craigslist, but it's a neighborhood platform where we can buy and sell, we can chat, we can talk to our neighbors. It's almost like a neighborhood Craigslist, but
almost like a neighborhood garage sale or something like that.
Yeah, that sort of thing. And so we join that. And I mean, if you're buying or selling something, or if you're promoting a business, you can actually tag upload a short form video to promote what you're doing. There's all kinds of sites like this now that are available where, people will now show me what's near me. Show me a business attorney here in Southern, or not just Southern California, but let's say in this zip code, right? Show me what's near me. There's another opportunity where you could stand apart from the crowd by having a short form video. And what I mean by that is it could be a 30-second to a 90-second short video that talks a little bit about what you do, how you do it, and why you do it. Right?
Where would you typically deposit this kind of a video, Rick, so people could find it easily?
Well, that's a good question. There's all kinds of ways that you can broadcast stuff like that. Obviously, the easiest thing to do is do it on YouTube. Load up these short form videos on YouTube, load it up or embed that YouTube video onto your website in specific pages on your website, whether it's a Why Hire Me video or About Us type of video or an educational video. And that's really the third micro moment that you want to center your mobile strategy around is I want to do, it's called a I want to do moment. And that's typically a DIY type of video, informational video or teaching video. Like, what do I do? I can give you a great example. I mean, I was looking at one of the first times I was changing out brakes on my car. There was something different that I had never noticed before. And so I pulled up the model, the make of this car, because there was an item there that I wasn't familiar with. And rather than call the garage, I Googled it, right? And I YouTubed it, found out exactly what it was, took care of it, boom. I was in the middle of doing it. I looked it up and it was done, right? I didn't have to wait until Monday to take it into the garage.
I did the same thing a few days ago. The door handle on the inside of my door busted. Got 2 new door handles, watched the video on YouTube, and installed the new door handles from the inside of the car. And I'm not mechanically inclined, but the video was there. It was short. It was sweet. It was simple, right to the point. And it allowed me to participate. And I guess I want to do moment. But I mean, I guess we're trying to say that everybody should be aware that the short videos are important no matter what category you're dealing with or how it applies to your business. You should deposit them on YouTube. And then correct me if I'm wrong, Rick, but YouTube, does YouTube have its own SEO availability so you can make sure these videos are found more easily? Let's say somebody doesn't have a website, which they should have, and they don't have it on their website, but they have it on their own Google page. Can you make sure that Google page is found more easily?
Oh, absolutely. In fact, as you may or may not know, that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world next to Google. And by the way, Google owns YouTube. So there's your 1-2 punch.
What a coincidence.
Yeah. So I know a lot of people out there, which while, we talked about this a couple episodes ago, some that don't have a website and just use social media to promote their stuff. Well, normally there's some place that they can land, at least have some kind of video out there that can give you the SEO, because now there's ways to tag that video through keywords and at least be found and utilize that platform to be found. So you can, I wouldn't recommend it doing videos without having a website, but if that's where you want to start, then, go for it. The last micro moment that Google talks about is the I want to buy moment. And I did this over Christmas. I know many of us did this. And I was I was in the Midwest with my dad. He wanted to buy a Bluetooth speaker, and we saw a number of different speakers right there in Best Buy, and we were trying to make a decision, and so I Googled this one specific Bluetooth speaker for him. We looked just specifically to look at the ratings and the feedback, the reviews, and based on what we read in the reviews, he said, "I'm good with that. Let's buy it." And so that's really what put us over the edge. So it's the I want to buy moment. Whether you're providing a review, providing some kind of video form information out there, you really need to include something like that in your video marketing strategy, specifically when mobile is going to be picking up a lot of this stuff.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. I think this all ties together because we're telling viewers and listeners, look, mobile is becoming the more frequent way to find out about what you want to know. There's different micro moments that you can participate in that will tell you what you want to know from the 4 standpoints that we discussed. They're, as you said earlier, they're critical touch points where you can find things immediately, and they're short and sweet enough to be able to give you the information you need and show you how to do whatever it is you want to do. And I think that's the critical part of it, because that means what? That you need a video marketing concept in your plan that's not just going to be a video that's on your website, and that's fine. There's a place and a time for that. But you're going to have the short, sweet, boom, boom, boom one that's going to identify you with whatever I want to micro moment you're looking to satisfy, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the more you can integrate short form videos into your strategy, when people find you, they'll see that, hey, this guy, he sounds credible. He sounds like an expert in his field because he's, sharing some great information that maybe I might have had to pay this guy to get. I know when you get back, we're going to update some new content for you. Looking forward to doing that. But the big question that people have, I guess, out of all of this is, how do you win with micro moments? Okay, and so we talked about the 4 micro moments that you can take advantage of, but I think the 3 most important things that you can consider as we wrap up here is you got to be there. You got to be there. You got to anticipate these micro moments for any type of users in your industry, and it can be very specific to your industry to be effective, and really commit to being there when and if those micro moments occur. Who knows?
When you say being there, Rick, I think what you mean is having a presence, right?
Yeah, absolutely having a presence. So when people do start searching for your expertise, you come to the top of the list. You're right there with useful and relevant content. And that's the second point. It's really be useful. You've got to be relevant to the consumer's needs in the moment that they're looking for it, and connect with those people by providing the answers that they're looking for. So be relevant to your industry. And the third is you really have to be quick. They're called micro moments for a reason, right?
Yeah,
so
right.
Mobile
Don't be too verbose and long-winded, right?
Yeah, the mobile users, they want to know it, they want to go, and they want to buy. They want to make a decision fast. So you really have to consider making this experience, the mobile experience, very fast and seamless for them, so they can make a very quick decision.
Right. I mean, it's almost like a contrast. Our show would be a contrast. It's not a micro moment. It's a way of providing useful information on topics that are a little more in depth, that people come to and listen to because they have the time to do it and they want to learn more. The micro moments are, like you said, they're something you have to know quick, and they may be something that doesn't take a lot of detail to understand. They're quick and to the point, and you're in and you're out, and you've got somebody who's able to provide you with that in and out experience that satisfies whatever need you had at the moment. And I think the recap, we talked about, I want to know moments, I want to go moments, I want to do moments, and I want to buy moments. And I'll tell you, this is fascinating stuff. For me, I like to break away from the legal stuff every now and then and learn about new things. And this is not something that, was swept under the carpet by any means, but I never really thought about these micro moments until you told me we were going to have a show on it and discuss it. And I find it fascinating because you've got to be disciplined enough to be able to, one, realize that this is what people want under certain conditions, and number two, to have the wherewithal to be able to do it and incorporate it into your overall strategy. In other words, don't think of it as the be all and end all, but don't think of it as something you should exclude either. Make sure you've got all the bases covered, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're just planting seeds or planting bait out there for them to nibble on, your consumers and your audience to nibble on. And then when they're ready to make that final chomp, well, then that's where you've already established yourself as an expert in your field, and you're more credible to them as a resource, and they'll be more apt to call you because now they feel like they've made a connection with you. So, and
I think that example you gave that I had, Rick, was which I didn't even think of. That was an excellent example, because that was a real firsthand experience of, hey, I want to find out who this guy is, and you know what? I'm going to do it right in front of him. I'm going to do it while he's sitting right here, and show him that I'm not only interested in finding out about him, but that I'm going to let him know that I'm interested in him. Because otherwise, if they weren't interested in me and they wanted to find out about this, they wouldn't have needed a micro moment. They would have gone back home and Googled me at some point in time in their leisure, right? And it would have been not a micro moment. It would have been, a who knows what moment, right? Well, I've got 10 things on my list today, and one of them is to Google this guy. And in fact, I would go so far as to say if it wasn't a micro moment, it may not have been a moment at all, because had they not shown the interest right then, they may have forgotten when they got back to their place later on and not even done it.
That's right. That's right. So you were there. So that's awesome.
So micro moments are really important for that reason. Rick, where can people get a hold of Captivate 365? I was going to say captivate365.com would be the most logical thing to say, but where can people get a hold of you if they want to talk about this in more detail?
Yeah, that's great. Thanks, Bill. Yeah, you're right. Captivate365.com. There'll be there's a bunch of resources on there and how to contact me, but you can also send me an email at rick@captivate365.com, or reach out to me on my phone at 949-667-1182, and be happy to strike up a discussion with you and see how I can help. So,
fantastic.
So thank you very much for the opportunity to share this fun information with the audience today. It was great. I'm excited to see where the trends are going and how this can help all of our business owners out there.
That's one good thing about I can say, like right off the top, Rick is really good in keeping up on these trends. He knows what's happening, and he's able to inform not just all of you, but us here on the show as well. Sometimes we're a little mystified that we aren't as up on the trends as Rick, but that's his job. Captivate 365 does much more than video marketing. You need to call Rick and find out exactly what he's all about, or visit his website as well. Well, we are appreciative that you've tuned in this week. We're looking forward to another show next week, same time, 10 o'clock a.m. on the bottlebusinessshow.com or blogtalkradio.com/bottlebusinessshow. If you want to listen to us, they can download stuff and listen to it at their leisure as well, right, Rick? So,
absolutely.
So we're good, and we look forward to seeing you next week. We want you to have a prosperous, happy, healthy week. Stay protected and stay busy, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye-bye now.